rather fresh. My word, the mansion's positively overrun with foreign folk on this most inauspicious of Lucian's days.
He catches himself and scrapes his throat in a brief moment of embarrassment.
I do apologize if I came across as impertinent just now, and I hope you'll forgive my unabating boldness when I assume Sir has come here in search of an audience with either Lord or Lady Kem. What are you suggesting? Why, I am no horticulturalist. If you've questions about the species in Lady Kem's collection, you must speak with her yourself. However, Lady Kem may not appreciate fielding questions from someone of your unrefined stature. I trust you won't take offense. Nobility must adhere to protocol. Oh, I meant, of course, the lizard excellencies that have sought shelter under this esteemed roof in the aftermath of the dreadful attack that was inflicted upon the Imperial Consulate. It saddens me to say there are a number of deaths to mourn, but no doubt we all rejoice at the survival of the nobles. After all, a mere clerk is so easily replaced, wouldn't you say? As you so rightfully point out, sir, quite unlike a butler. Oh, gracious, her? I truly hope you are not in cahoots with that brazen peddler. Well, she's in the dining room. I'm afraid I can't accommodate you with the opportunity to have a word with Milord Kem at this precise moment, sir. Milord left early in the morning in pursuit of business, and he hasn't yet returned. I'm not privy to the details of Milord's ventures, but I gather his outing pertains to his office as Grand Master of the Paladins and the ousting of certain firebrands from the city. A most noble task, I'm sure. Unless I'm quite mistaken, in which case I once more apologize profusely, you'll most likely find Milord in the immediate vicinity of the Magister headquarters. The Magisters, in case my previous sentence lacked clarity, being the firebrands I alluded to. Lady Kem is having tea in the drawing room over in the north wing. I'm quite certain a person as obviously well-travelled as yourself will have no problem drifting in that general direction, should he deem it fit to do so. Yes, do please excuse me, for I've a party of dignitaries to attend to. They've an appetite for an aperitif, and the port, needless to say, does not pour itself.
A word of warning. There are lizards in the house. Kem trusts them, but I do not.
The humans must prevail.
Come out, wherever you are.
I'm working here. Leave me be.
For heaven's sake, would you please... Oh, ever so sorry. I thought you were that rotten butler about to warn me once again to take the ocular, not the tactile approach. I swear I've a mind to beat him to death with the nearest dictionary I can find. Oh, do spare me. That little snob thinks me unworthy of being in his precious lord's mansion appraising his precious lord's collection of antiques. Just you try judging the state of a Vadistian armoire if you're not even allowed to rummage through its drawers. Oh, he's all blood and battle, all right. Until you show him a Ferolian snuff box or an ancient imperial fainting couch, then he's as giddy as a cat in a field of catnip. He knows very well I'm the best in the business. Asked me to value his collection personally. I'm merely appraising the many antiques gathered in here in this beautiful mansion.
A roguish little smile suddenly plays upon her lips.
What else would I be doing? Takes more than an empty threat to convince me, honey. Off you trot. For heaven's sake, would you please... Oh, ever so sorry. I thought you were that rotten butler about to warn me once again to take the ocular, not the tactile approach. I swear I've a mind to beat him to death with the nearest dictionary I can find. Oh, do spare me. That little snob thinks me unworthy of being in his precious lord's mansion appraising his precious lord's collection of antiques. Just you try judging the state of a Vadistian armoire if you're not even allowed to rummage through its drawers. Oh, he's all blood and battle, all right. Until you show him a Ferolian snuff box or an ancient imperial fainting couch, then he's as giddy as a cat in a field of catnip. He knows very well I'm the best in the business. I'm merely appraising the many antiques gathered in here in this beautiful mansion.
A roguish little smile suddenly plays upon her lips.
What else would I be doing? My, you do drive a hard bargain, don't you? Very well. Consider yourself invited. Now listen closely. Rumour has it that Lord Kim's mansion is built upon a massive vault in which he hides his true valuables. His entire house is but a smokescreen for the real treasure hidden underneath. I've had no luck so far in locating this fabled vault, but if you do, I swear the entire hoard is yours. No questions asked. All I want in return for this information is a trio of curios that is said to be kept inside. The portrait of the divine, the cup of kings, and the scroll of eternity. Everything else is yours. You cat! Oh, I hope that vault exists. I hope that it's strapped from top to bottom. And I hope those snares will rob you of yourself limb per ripped-off limb.
Not a chance, Egbert. You'll never find me.
We've nothing left to say to one another. Just leave me be. For heaven's sake, would you please... Oh, Rivers, I swear I've a mind to beat him to death with the nearest dictionary I can find. Much obliged. I'll most certainly keep that in mind. That little snob thinks me unworthy of being in his precious lord's mansion appraising his precious lord's collection of antiques. Just you try judging the state of a Vadistian armoire if you're not even allowed to rummage through its drawers. Highly interesting. And highly valuable. Perhaps even quite out of your league. Anything else?
How dreadfully crowded these rooms have become. One so yearns for the calm of earlier days.
Come out, wherever you are. Come out, wherever you are. Come out, wherever you are. Come out, wherever you are.
Oh, he's all blood and battle, all right. He knows very well I'm the best in the business.
Again! This time I'll find you.
I saw Daddy with some weird-looking cat in the garden. I think he was even talking to it. He called it Archew, I think. Anyway, I asked if I could pet it, but Daddy shooed me away.
You say that now, but when Lady K glares you into next Tuesday, you'll regret keeping your hands clean.
I don't need this distraction. Why don't you go stroll in the garden or something? Can't blame you for drinking so much tea.
Another one? How many more of you can Lady K possibly take in?
Start. Doesn't seem like the kind of place you'd hide a vault.
You see yourself in the mirror. It's quite a sight. You see yourself in the mirror. It's quite a sight.
Come out, wherever you are. Come out, wherever you are. Shall Lord Kem be joining us, my lady?
Linda, I fear, is far too busy with his little coup. Oh, a fellow noble. Such a dignified carriage could belong to no other. It's a delight to greet someone of my own station. Not that I would judge these present plebeians. They are here by invitation, of course. People like them keep the city's wheels turning and its boats afloat. Magicians among us, truly. An afternoon of hot tea and warm recitations is the least I can offer them. Not at all. We all deserve a taste of luxury from time to time, do we not? I may live in a resplendent mansion, but I still share my riches, one lucky guest at a time. I send an invitation to each citizen at least once a year. A pity my husband couldn't make it. He has his hands full, you see. Why, I barely ever see him myself.
Lady Kem's bright cheeks fall and her jaw goes slack. She is lost in thought for but a moment, however, and puts on a brave and regal face.
But I think you'll find present company more than adequate. Tea time is such a delight. Oh, but you seem to be a bit feverish. Violent plants, that's simply impossible. Those seeds were a gift from the doctor himself. As exotic as these symptoms you've presented with, I dare say. Perhaps you should see him, dear. Something is clearly ailing you. Yes, indeed. Why, a lady without a proper tea set is no more useful than a party without a hostess. As long as you choose the most delicate leaves and brew at the proper temperature, you're destined for luxury. Would you care to try your hand at it? I have 3 varieties, each as aromatic as the last. I've no doubt you could brew a delicious cup. Yes, a classic green from the ancient kingdom Zia Valley. I'm sure you know the place. The plant's last week is spent in shade, which gives the leaves a sumptuous, nutty flavour. Oh, I approve. Here you are, and may you enjoy every cup you brew. My husband? What is it? What happened? Black ring indeed. I'll need more than the word of some woman before I believe the likes of that. My husband may tell me little of his work and keep his secrets locked in the attic, but he's an important man. Discretion is paramount for someone in such a high position. My husband?
She lapses into an overwhelmed, glazed-eyed silence for a moment, before gathering herself.
He seemed resentful of late towards his position,
towards the whole order. It was more than mere bitterness then. I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I didn't realize the truth of him. My husband's actions were his own. I do not condone them. In a way, I suppose. My husband showed scant care for others. I did what I could to compensate for his failings. No, not enough, evidently. I care for the people of this city, I truly do. I brought them into our home so that I could hear from them, to let them know that their betters listened to them. Held captive? In my own home? And I thought I knew my husband. Clearly not. If he managed to have a lair of treachery right beneath our own home. And what became of him? Did you confront him? He dug his own grave then, with the choices he made. Do you know how it happened? Then he reaped what was sown. You have my thanks for your candor. I'd like some time to myself now, if you don't mind.
A delicious blend. I envy the lady's brewing skills.
I must take advantage of the moment. We are only granted an audience by invitation.
Shall Lord Kem be joining us, my lady? Come out, wherever you are. Come out, wherever you are.
Shh, she'll find me.
I saw Daddy with some weird-looking cat in the garden. I think he was even talking.
I want no trouble from you, lizard. This job is dull, and I'd like to keep it that way.
My esteemed lord, the Red Prince, you should speak to Lady Vicra, your highness. She has been eagerly anticipating your arrival.
My. Unless I've gone quite colorblind, you must be the Red Prince. The lizard consulate is gone, I'm afraid. All that survives of it is what I managed to take with me. Care to see what I have? Perhaps we can make an arrangement. Our consulate may be gone, but I will not let us be reduced to utter beggars. I merely do what is necessary to fund our ongoing diplomatic efforts. It was quite terrible and wonderful, my prince. Slaughter, death, opportunity. We were gathered there in anticipation of Lucian's Day when the Red Princess walked in, accompanied by no other than Bramos the Wanderer. We knew not who she was, but Bramos told us the tale of the Red Majesties and how they would engender the return of the great Red Dragons. No sooner had we fallen to our knees in reverence than the ground shook, monsters howled for blood, and fires raged around us. Many a great noble perished in that sudden hell. As for myself, I'm glad I survived long enough to collect what treasures I could, as the Red Princess would surely have wished. Oh, it was devastating, to be sure. But what good does mourning do for either the living or the dead? I found a spot of fortune in the flames. It would be wrong to squander it, yes? Best to sell anything of value. The voice of the ancient empire must still be heard in arcs, and that will require gold.
My word, the Red Prince. A moment of your time, please, Your Majesty, if you can spare it.
What say you? Have we time to spare? Very well. By all means, milady.
It's about Sadha, my prince. I met her in our Empire's consulate here in the city. She is pregnant with your offspring, but in mortal danger as well. Voidwoken swarmed the consulate. Flames engulfed all. But even then, the Dreamers stood by her and tried to take her into the Sanctuary of Dreams. Go to her, Your Majesty. Find her and safeguard her. For her sake, and that of your children. Our consulate lies in ruins. A day of celebration has become a day of catastrophe. I see the horrors still, floating afore my eyes. Save Sadha, my prince. I beseech you. Save your family. That is our Empire's fortune.
The dog's flattened ears perk up at the sight of you, then flop back into their submissive position.
Oh, I bit the master, Kim, I did. I could have sworn it was another man in a master suit, but it weren't. Now I'm in the doghouse like the humans say. I couldn't help it, I swear. Kemmel smelled like when the garden man cuts down a decayed tree, like he was using flowers to hide the rot. A little like you, but a little not like you too. Only nudging and tail wag the next time, I promise. No licking, though. I don't want to taste the rot again.
What's this? I found something. Careful now. That's a trap.
Careful. I've spotted a trap. Look out! I see a trap nearby.
Look out! I see a trap nearby.
Careful. I've spotted a trap.
Scratching the pole does wonders for your nails.
Look out! I see a trap nearby.
Careful now. That's a trap.
Lucky find. Why would Lord Kem have a black ring mirror in his attic? Lucky find.
The surface of the mirror is smooth and unblemished. Not a single speck of dust sits on the black glass. A vision appears. It wavers, then becomes clear. In the reddish light cast by flowing lava, you see a cave. You recognize it. This is the Sallow Man's cave. The roof has fallen in. Nothing there lives.
Worms take you.
Lady Kem has been kind enough to host me until I can return to the kingdom. I vow to take greater care in whom I trust. I must seek to avoid further tragedy than we have already seen. Yes, the void closes in. It's so much more dangerous than even death fog. Death fog we can see and smell. The void is empty, intangible. We don't know it's there until its creatures are upon us. It pains me to know the Black Ring preyed on my weakness. My hands are not yet clean of the victim's blood. I will make amends. Somehow. Bless his heart. Please, do send word to him. He can rest his mind now. Mikael is no man of courage, but he's as loyal as a fresh-fed pup. But be sure this news remains only with him. He's not prone to gossip, but my affairs in Arx must be kept private, as it were. Yes? What about them? A mother would do anything for her children. Isbale convinced me there were bogeymen lurking in every corner, dark or bright. My children, the dwarves. I wanted only to keep them safe. It was only a matter of time before the Order would come for us, she said. The scouts talked of living weapons nailed to crosses, of blank-faced wizards, an entire force of them. Isbale was certain that destroying Arx was the only way to strike a killing blow to the Order. I couldn't see her true aim. To pave the way for the God King's arrival. My mistakes will always burden my heart. But there is time for atonement. She was a scientist of sorts, or so the town criers chanted. She knew the ways of nature and beyond, and I invited her to court to show me. She healed the sick and soothed the wounded. I saw it with my own eyes. I brought her close. Her words were wise, and her aims, well, they seemed so pure. It was after Alexander assembled the quorum that Isbeel turned my mind to thoughts of war. Our scouts and spies aided dwarven sorcerers where and when they could, but Isbeel insisted the monks and shriekers would touch dwarven land. When we came to Arx to prepare, she rarely left my side except to tend to her laboratory. I'd no idea what I rebuild. The dwarven people deserve answers. They deserve apologies. They deserve to walk the streets and sing their songs without fearing to offend their sovereign. They deserve a future, a jubilant one. It's up to me to give it to them. Farewell. Lady Kemma has been kind enough to host me until I can return to the kingdom. I vow to take greater care in whom I trust. I must... Yes, the void closes in. It's so much more dangerous than even death fog. Death fog we can see and smell. The void is empty, intangible. We don't... It pains me to know the Black Ring preyed on my weakness. My hands are not yet clean of the victim's blood. I will make amends. So bless his heart. Please, do, but be sure this news remains. Yes? What about them? Farewell.
The war drums keep the rhythm of patrol. Human
Antiques and
establishes
antiquities.
control.
I hear water. At least, I hope it's true.
Shout the battle cry. 'Tis through their might that peace may multiply. Of silver, gold, and diamonds now disposed.
Rarities, remnants,
With
and
friends
relics,
and
buying
lovers,
and selling.
find your true repose. So journey forth and tread the proper trail, and shout to all, the humans must prevail.
Valuable artifacts, heirlooms, and antiquities. Rarities, remnants, and relics.
The war
Buying and
drums keep
selling.
the rhythm of patrol. Human establishes control. Sound the horn and shout the battle cry.
Someone has taken a great interest in Dallas.
Valuable artifacts, heirlooms, and antiquities.
Gold and diamonds now dispose. With friends and lovers, find your true repose.
The trader sways in time to the bard's tune, but stops as you approach. She looks at the mansion nervously, then back to you.
Looking for, something special? Am I that transparent? I'm a little on edge, it's true.
She nods to the looming estate.
See behind me? That's Linda Kemm's mansion. And if Cat's to be believed, Kemm's got something valuable in there. So valuable that if we can find it, we'd be set for life. She's in there now, looking for this thing. I don't know what it is, but Cat promises our lives are about to change for the better. She's an appraiser, and a damn good one at that. Kemm's obsessed with his own riches. He brings Cat in to tell him how much his collection's worth, then basks in his wealth like a lizard in the sun.
Her voice lapses into a soft whisper.
People like Kemm, they just get richer and richer, while the rest of us scramble for their scraps. Cat says we deserve better, and I believe her. All done, then?
The proper trail. And shout to all, the humans must prevail.
Real antiques at realistic prices. Who cares to trade?
The war drums keep the rhythm of patrol. Humankind establishes control. Sound the horn and shout the battle cry. 'Tis through their might that peace may multiply. Of silver, gold, and diamonds now dispose. With friends and lovers, find your true.
She responds with a nervous wave, and her eyes flit to the mansion behind her.
And tread the proper trail. And shout to all, the humans
Antiques
must
and
prevail.
antiquities, buying and selling.
The war drums keep
Antiques and
the rhythm
antiquities,
of patrol.
buying and selling.
Humankind establishes control. Sound the horn and shout the battle cry. 'Tis through their might that peace may multiply. Of silver, gold, and diamonds now dispose. With friends and lovers,
Antiques and
find your
antiquities,
true
buying and
repose.
selling.
So journey forth and tread the proper trail. And shout to all, the humans must prevail.
The statue reaches toward the sky, as though...
Hopefully Lucian will grant me his blessing.
Oh, Lucian.